Get caught in a net with Annette. For your mind, body, and soul. Get caught in a net with Annette.
Hey guys, it's your girl Annette Harris of Mind, Body, and Soul with Annette. And it is time for another session of Mind, Body, and Soul. I am so excited that you have consented to join us today by watching and or listening. Let me present to you my guest of the day, J Alan Grier. He's going to come in and talk to us about survival tips during this time, psychologically, physically, and spiritually. Come and join us in our fireside chat so that you too can get caught in a net.
J Alan Grier is here with me on this afternoon. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm blacknificent right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it when you say that. I love it when you say that.
Right.
How's my audio? Are you able to hear me good?
I can hear you fine. Yeah, I can hear you. You're good.
Okay. All right. Wonderful. Wonderful. All right. Well, this is a good thing to have you on, and so that they can hear and see us on today.
Yeah.
J Alan, you know what? I have to do this before I get started, and I meant to do this before I brought you in. I got to say my prayer.
Okay.
I got to say my scripture.
Okay.
Lord, we thank you for this wonderful day that you have blessed us to see. We thank you for the bright sunshine here where we are. We appreciate you and how you are, and we ask that you would get the glory out of today's session and everything we go to say and do. In Jesus' name we pray. And the opening scripture that Mind, Body, and Soul is based upon is the first part of Hosea 4:6. And it states, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. And again, I'm excited to be here. I'm excited.
I like that scripture right there. Okay, say
You
that
do?
one more time. One more time. One more again. That's important.
All right. It says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because
okay.
thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee.
All right.
I'm glad you like that scripture.
Oh, I love that one.
Look, J Alan and I.
Hey, listen, I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
What was that?
No, I said thank you for having me.
Oh, I'm so appreciative that you are here with us. And you guys, J Alan, we both know why we're laughing. And we know why we're talking like that.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, guys, when you come into the live feed, go ahead, like and share if you would not mind, like and share to let others know that Mind, Body, and Soul is on this afternoon. Once we have ended today's session, then I will definitely have this video uploaded to my YouTube channel so that you won't miss a beat. So we're going to kind of get started. Let me read a little bit about J Alan on today. J Alan is kind of popular, guys.
Let's see. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what kind of work this dude has put in. Oh, let's see.
Okay, that's what we want to see right now. So let's see here. It says that he was born and raised in Southern California. He is actually a CHF survivor, congestive heart failure survivor, wellness advocate, and an author who knows what it's like to struggle with the troubles of health issues. He has dedicated his life journey to assisting others in achieving optimal health through all things working as one: mind, body, and spirit. The physical, mental, and spiritual balance is what we plan to achieve one step at a time. And he says here, remember, baby steps count too.
Yes.
He believes in accountability, but also being patient with self. And he also believes results happen in divine timing versus due time. And now at the end of his this little blurb he says he is here to share his experience with you. So he is here on Mind, Body, and Soul to get caught in the net to share his experience with all of us on today.
I'm all up in the net. I can't get out the net right now. Okay. I'm all up in there. Okay.
You're all in the net. Well, I'm so glad that you are here on today. I was referred to this young man by a good friend of mine, and I said, okay, let's check him out. Let's check him out. Right. And I was doing a little research on you and getting a little background. We've talked a few times on the phone, and
You crazy. Okay.
Okay. But in a good way, right?
In a good way.
Okay.
In a good way.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for that. But you know what? So we were just really trying to talk today, or see if we can just come up with something that you and I can kind of chat, a little fireside chat, as I say. And of course, we know that we're still dealing with this pandemic. We're still dealing with how to even become adjusted, with this new norm, if you will. And there are so many things that we just as people in general have been faced with even before this pandemic came along. So now that's coupled, with this pandemic. So today's topic, we're just kind of chatting about what can we do to survive in this day and time. Right. So let's see here. Oh my goodness. J Alan.
What's up? I'm ready. Let's go.
You ready? All right. So we are going here. Let me do this.
Okay.
Okay. I want to ask you. Actually, kind of what in your little brief bio that I read. I want to talk. Why don't you introduce yourself to my listeners, to my viewers, about who J Alan is in your own words. I know I read a little bit, but tell me who you are.
I'm gonna try to keep it brief. You know I could talk, Annette, so I'm gonna keep it real short.
I'll reel you in.
Okay, do that. Direct me if you have to. All right, look. Really quick, listen. So my name is J Alan. Like she said, I am from Southern California. I was raised in the Compton, Long Beach area. So I am from the hood. You don't get that twisted, okay? So, pretty much, I'm a guy who has a passion for the culture. I have a passion for, Black people and different issues that, we go through. And my journey actually took me along the path of health. I actually did, some talk radio for a number of years. And, like I said, it has kind of driven me into this thing where I'm on this whole health and wellness kick. Like I said, I am a CHF survivor, congestive heart failure, also chronic kidney disease. I was in pretty bad shape, and that's pretty much who I am. I got out of the hospital, started this wellness brand. I wrote a book, and I'm here today on Caught Up in the Net right now. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much who I am.
Okay, let's back it up a little bit. Now you talked about the two major conditions that you dealt with health-wise.
Yes.
How long ago were both of those?
Okay, so that was about 4 years ago. 4 years ago was when I'm 42 years old. So at the age of 39, I was diagnosed with congestive heart failure and chronic kidney disease. Now, the interesting thing about that was that I've also had open heart surgery before as a child at 4 years old, but this situation had nothing to do with that. Right now, on the show today, we're talking about mind, body, and spirit. So we're going to connect all of that, because the bottom line to it is, and I know it sounds cliche and I don't like being cliche. I like being original, but it's the truth. So we can't talk about one without talking about the other, because they all are connected, right? So if you may have yourself together physically, but if you're missing that spiritual or that mental side, then the balance is not going to be there, right? It's all got to work as one. So
Okay, I like that.
All right.
You said some stuff there. You said some stuff.
I'm trying to hang with you, Annette.
But you know what? It's actually good to hear, a lot of times what individuals have dealt with themselves, because you never know who else is like dealing with that right at that moment, or unfortunately sometimes may come up on themselves or for their family members or friends. So
Right.
if they hear your story, a lot of times it could kind of help them. It can kind of
Right.
direct them. So I'm appreciative of you being transparent on today and sharing what you can to help somebody else. That's what I
Oh,
appreciate.
yeah.
So let's see. Okay, so we talked. So that was like 4 years ago. You said, interesting. You're
Yeah.
young. You're young. You're
I
young.
am. I am. I'm kind of young. I got a few grays though. I got the salt and pepper going. I consider. Listen, my daughter will tell you I'm old. Dad, you old.
Oh,
Dad, you old.
and when your children say that, then you better think and listen.
I told her, you know what? You better hope your husband look like me when he get my age. Okay.
Oh, is that what you told her?
That's what I told her.
Oh my goodness. Okay, all right. So why don't we start on the since we were already talking about health, why don't we
Okay.
start on the physical side of what
Okay.
we can do to survive um, in this time? Um, I'll throw this in here, and I may have mentioned this to you in our conversation, or
Mhm.
I can't remember. But anyway, the other day I went out to the store. See, here in Illinois, because you're not here in the Midwest with us, but here in Illinois, of course, as of May 1st, whenever we leave out, we have to wear our masks.
Mhm.
It's a requirement now, and so of course, they're still telling you, if you're not an essential worker, you need to stay at home till a certain time period, right? So, what day was this? I think it was Saturday.
Okay.
Saturday, I had to run up to the Walgreens just right up the street, okay,
Mhm.
from the house. And so I get in the parking lot and it's like packed, cars everywhere. And so, of course, in your mind, you're thinking, wait a minute, we're still supposed to be staying in shelter, right?
Right.
And then it dawned on me because people start coming out with roses and balloons and everything for like Mother's Day. And
Oh.
so, but that's not what got my attention. My attention was I look around and everybody's got a mask on.
Mm.
And as I looked around, I said to myself, if people are not mentally stable, looking around like this and seeing you look like you're in a total twilight zone, you're in another world, so to speak. And this is like our new normal now.
It
But
is.
if you can't handle that mentally, it's gonna mess with you. It's gonna mess with you. So I mean, I know I said I want to start talking about the physical aspects. We can do that, and then we can get into the psychological as well of how do we survive now. Individuals had been diagnosed maybe with physical conditions before the pandemic arose. Maybe situations like yours. What do you want to talk to us today about the physical aspect?
I'm gonna talk to y'all about some stuff y'all done heard about before, and I'm just gonna punch you in the face with it a little bit more. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. So, no, seriously, I mean, when so people such as myself, right? I have to really make sure that I keep my immune system up to par. But you know what? We all should be doing that, right? Don't let yourself be pushed into a situation to where you're actually forced to take care of your health, because it's not fun when you have to do that, right? It's not fun. And then also understand this: people out there who have kids and have children, which most of us have, it's like you got somebody else out there like depending on if you're sick, or if they depending on you to get better, or they depending on your growth, whatever that is, mentally, physically, however that is, because you can't really produce your full potential until you get that all together. So what I want to touch on is, for one, this is the precursor to everything, is that high blood pressure, that hypertension. Okay, that's the precursor to everything. So pretty much That was my issue. Doctor said, yo, you've been eating so much salt and you ain't never done nothing about your blood pressure. So now it's caused X, Y, and Z to go wrong. So when your blood pressure is high, it's going to affect your heart. It's going to put pressure on your kidneys, right? And, you know, that's something that you don't want. So really quick, to combat that, it's some easy stuff, right? It's some easy, real easy stuff, right? You need to keep your body, try to keep it alkaline. So you have acidic and you have alkaline, right? So when the body is too acidic, then that leads for an environment of disease to breathe and grow and, you know, and build up and things like that. When your body is more alkaline, when your pH balance is higher than, I believe, like a 7.0, then you're in good shape. So for the blood pressure, really, really quick, you got to get you some cayenne pepper. All right. Now I know it's hot going down. I know hot cha 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 cha. I understand that. But at the same time, you got to get this. Now, so if you now my blood pressure was high. Okay. So if your blood pressure is high, I'm talking about, yo, my blood pressure was very, very high at one point. It was almost 200. Okay. So cayenne pepper, you want to take 2 pills of these in the morning. Don't take it on an empty stomach. I'm telling you, don't do that. Okay. Don't take it on an empty stomach. Cayenne pepper, 2 of these. You want to get you some black seed oil. Now, I actually retail black seed oil, the Gangstaholistic. This is a shameless pitch right now. So listen, black seed oil is great for any type of respiratory issues and any type of renal issues, meaning your kidneys. If you know anyone that has any type of kidney issues, listen. So as far as kidney disease, on the scale of you needing to be on dialysis, when you get about like a 2.0, you may need to be on dialysis. I was at a 1.7. I was very, very close. All right. I took black seed oil. This is a fact. This is why I'm a strong advocate for it. I took black seed oil for 6 months, right? I took it twice a day, right? Boom. 1 drop, 2 drops in the morning, 2 drops at night. And then, you know, after that, 6 months of doing that, also 6 months of taking this is very good for your heart. It's called, as you see, hawthorn. It's called hawthorn berry, all right? You get that for your heart. And after taking that for 6 months, my kidneys went from being almost shot to 90%, right? And that's what me actually, you know, I actually was able to wean myself off of the medication, okay? Now, what I want people to also realize too is different medications that you're taking out there. A lot of us, we take these different medications and you don't look at the side effects, you don't read them, you're just swallowing whatever the doctor gives you, right? And if that's what you choose to do, that's perfectly fine. But I will let you know that all of these medications have different side effects. For example, the heart medication that I was taking when I first got out of the hospital, it was great for my heart, but it was killing my liver. You feel what I'm saying? So we have to be cognizant of those different things because you will think that it's helping one thing and it just may be, but it also can be hurting something else. So you got to be really mindful of that. But more than anything, like some simple stuff, like I said, y'all, look, we got to start getting back to these fruits and these veggies, okay? Bottom line, fruits and veggies, all right? Instead of drinking them sugary juices, okay? Squeeze some of this lemon right here, you know, squeeze some lime, and, you know, we got to start eating more veggies and fruits. And also, you don't really have to take this. This is vitamin D. All you really need to do is get in the sun, okay? Especially people of color, okay? If we don't get in the sun, your vitamin D will be depleted. You're going to be in a bad mood. You're going to be slouching. You're going to be all of that stuff. I know I'm talking. I'm gonna let you go ahead and say something real fast.
Well, yeah, I mean, you were saying something. I actually have a holistic doctor that I'm sorry, a nutritionist that comes on Mind, Body, and Soul every month. And so she's always pushing the natural, you know, the fruits, the vegetables. That's why I'm glad you started getting into that, as opposed to all these medications. Now, of course, when she comes on, and even while you're on today, these are the views and opinions of my guests, and
right,
you know,
right.
we don't hold anybody, don't hold us accountable. You know, you have to do what's best for you. But the natural stuff is, we know that it's going back to how we were created as well. And so a lot of times, if you really take a look at, doing the lemon, squeezing the lemons and the limes in your water, how much that would really do for you, that's natural stuff. You know what I mean? And so it things won't get convoluted and all kind of, in your body if you if you're doing this natural stuff. Now, you started off talking about the blood pressure, high blood pressure, which of course we know that this is very common amongst our people, having the high blood pressure. Now, were you really conscious of what to do about your pressure? Like maybe when it got out of control, or what were your thoughts about, did you like really go full force into it after you were diagnosed?
Yeah, so after I was diagnosed, I mean, even before my diagnosis, I knew something was going on with me. I would get some extreme chest pains, and a lot of men, we try to be tough, and But the thing about it is, see, that's the culture of men. A lot of times, us as young men and young boys, we don't go to the doctor as much as young girls to go get those checkups and things like that. And then, so when we do, we're afraid, and the doctor's always trying to poke on, us. And then, as far as us, people of color, we can tell. I can have a whole conversation about where that stems from, But anyway, so yeah, I fell like full force into it after my diagnosis. I mean, when I got out of the hospital, I was running 5 miles a day. I was pretty much raw vegan, like eating just raw fruits and vegetables. I mean, my life completely changed, you know what I mean? And after eating like that for a while, then going back and tasting something that was just seasoned regular, I could taste how much salt I was actually eating, right? And it was a lot. So, I hear a lot of us say that, well, you know what, high blood pressure run in my family, and you know what, the doctor will tell you that too. Listen, people, stop saying that. Stop saying that high blood pressure, that diabetes, it don't run in your family. Especially we're talking about type 2 diabetes. It doesn't run in your family, but what runs in the family are the eating habits, okay? The eating habits that are passed on, that you're eating, Big Mama greens and the mac and cheese and the chicken, fried chicken and all that. Okay, I get it, right? It tastes good. But at the same time, understand this, eating like that for all of your life, it's a price to pay for it. Fact, that's a fact. It's a fact. Right.
Yeah, it definitely is a price to pay for it. And unfortunately, we get too comfortable, a lot of times in what we're used to doing, what we're used to eating, our comfort foods, if you will. And so you just mentioned, stop saying it runs in my family. See, we get comfortable in that aspect. And then, so, if you're diagnosed with high blood pressure, you're like, oh, okay, well, yeah, it runs my family. So, okay. No, it's not okay. No.
Right.
We have to, and I say this quite often. The older I get, I realize we got to take our health back. We have allowed it to really disintegrate, so to speak, over the years. We'll, okay, nah, this ain't gonna hurt me or whatever. But it really is, it's adding up. It is adding up.
Let me say this real quick, Annette, not to cut you off.
Go ahead.
If we really took the time to really understand, look at, and tear apart some of the things that we eat, what's in it. I mean, you will be very surprised. You would be very shocked. But the fact of the matter is, I mean, a lot of this stuff that we look. Okay, so check this out. I remember this is years ago. I interviewed a guy. His name was Kidi Awadu, right? So he's a world-renowned vegan chef.
Okay.
So this is what now. Aside from being a chef, this guy is highly intelligent. I thought he was actually like a physician, but he's not. Very intelligent guy. But anyway, he was saying that more than 95% of food sold at a grocery store is not fit for human consumption. Okay, and and it's so interesting that because nowadays we got to even talk about the vegetables because I mean they are. We can go all the way into that, you know what I mean? But at the same time, we really got to be cognizant. And people say, well, hey, it's expensive. Guess what? My doctor bill is expensive, right? My doctor bill is, and let me tell you something, really, that's really like a cop-out because it's not more expensive, okay? Because I can go to the store, I can pick out some fruits and veggies. I mean, people easily spend $10, $20 a day on food, on fast food. That's not healthy at all. It's not even food, okay? Food, this doesn't have ingredients. It's a lemon. This is a lime, okay? So all of this stuff that they call food, I mean, it's kind of made up in a factory. There's your food.
Right, exactly.
Okay, I'm just being honest.
You are saying some stuff here. Let me hop over here to Facebook. I have a watch party going and I have my regular live feed going. And I do want to acknowledge some of you that are on here. Dimitri is watching, Beverly Woodard, Jeff the Winters. I also see Buddy Gill, Joe McCord, Deborah Brown. Let's see. And I want to read a couple of comments.
Yeah. Let's go.
Let's see. Oh, Auntie Deborah said, what was the name of the supplement that you held up after the black seed oil? Do you remember that?
After the black seed oil, was it the hawthorn berry?
I think so.
Okay, it was a hawthorn berry. Now, now let me tell you guys this about herbs, okay? So, for one, herbs, you have to be a lot more consistent with it than medication. Medication is going to work like that. These herbs, you have to be more consistent with it, okay? 3-6 months, your body going to start, feeling the effects of you continuously doing it, okay? Now, when you get the herbs, you can get any herb in a powder form, right? But if you get it in this form, I like to get it like this. This is called a tincture. And what they do is they put vegetable glycerin on top of this. So what it does, it pulls all the nutrients out of the herb. So this is 10 times more powerful than just the regular herb in a liquid form. And not only that, y'all, listen, it's easier because I was like capsuling up my pills and making a mess on Sundays, trying to get all my, it was too much. Order it like this.
I can only imagine. Hey, Auntie Ida, thanks for watching. Let's see here. You guys make sure when you come into this live feed, share it. Click the share button. Throw up some hearts. Throw up some thumbs up.
Let's get it going,
that you are out there. Another comment here. Buddy Gill says, this COVID-19 dilemma has really caused us to take stock of our diet habits and checking our health. He also says, even getting nervous when you cough and you only cough because you swallowed the wrong way.
Listen, who's that, Buddy? That's Buddy right there. hey, shout out to Buddy right now, because you know what? Buddy, I was in the grocery store like the other week, and I have my mask on. I'm taking my vegetables out. And I had to cough. And I said, people start looking at me. I said, oh, I forgot. I can't even do a normal cough.
I know, because guess what? I would have been looking at you myself.
You know what? You're right. You know what? I would have been looking at somebody else too. But you know what the thing about it is, the interesting thing about this whole, these times are like, you don't really know what to think, right? And that's when we can dive into going, spiritual. You know what I'm saying? Turn into that, going within. Because, listen, these times are temporary. I know we love this earth. I know we want to live. I understand all that, right? But this body is temporary. I mean, that's just seriously. And it's like, we're in a new day, we're in a new time. And just like you said, things are not going to go back to normal. Things are going to be a lot different.
Yeah.
It's here. Okay.
It's definitely here. And we have to deal with it. We got to deal with it. And so this is what we're talking about today, guys. We're talking about how we're going to survive in these times in various ways, psychologically, physically, mentally. This is what our discussion is talking about on today. And now we're only here until 1 o'clock today, guys, because Mr. Grier, he's a busy man.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry.
It's good though. It's all good. Another comment here. Buddy says, I like this guy. Where has he been all my life? Can we get that list of supplements and vitamins?
Hey, buddy. Yes, definitely.
So maybe when we get a chance, probably maybe before or when the show ends, if you want to type it in on the comment section, those different supplements that you listed or showed to us and talked to us about. But I think, again, it's definitely, as I stated, something that's very, very important for us to take a look at, because, see, we don't want to unravel at the ends, if you will, while we're going through. Everybody is going through. This has affected everybody. It's not just over on the East Coast. Right. It's not on the West Coast. It's everybody. So I think that, we who have experienced things like you've experienced stuff in your physical body, you didn't just write these books. They were written beforehand, but they come in handy now. So with our experiences and with our knowledge, I think it's going to be key, again, sharing, so that we can help those who are going through, because everybody doesn't go through the same way. Everybody doesn't react the same way to, whatever it is that they're dealing with. So whatever we can do to help somebody, this is what we're trying to do on today. So I did have actually some questions for you that was actually sent to me, and I'm going to see if I can grab them real quick.
Okay. I wanted to make a point real quick.
Go ahead while I'm getting the questions.
Yeah, earlier you were talking about, seeing all these people coming out with the mask on and stuff like that. So one thing I want people to be cognizant of is like your subconscious, right? So your subconscious mind is a lot more powerful than your conscious mind, okay? So this has to deal with what you see, what you hear, and what you speak, right?
Yeah.
So with that being said, sometimes, listen, I know you like to wake up, and even before you brush your teeth, I know you like to get on social media and check your Instagram and your Facebook. You gotta stop doing it. So sometimes we gotta get off of that social media, right? You're seeing all of this fear tactic stuff, coming down your timeline, and what's gonna happen next, and this is happening that. I mean, you got your brain going crazy. So sometimes you gotta get away, you gotta step away from the social media aspect of it and just see, sometimes people feel like that's the real life is social media, but it's actually not. Real life is lived off of social media. Sometimes you need to take that time to get yourself together. You caught up with this and that, and you trying to see what this person doing in their relationship or whatever it may be. It's draining. It can be very draining.
But you know what? That's a very good point. Because that, even like you said, that talks to the psychological and mental aspect of what we're dealing with, because you could be all day, and I literally had to stop myself from watching all these updates from the governor and the mayor and the president, because I mean, of course they're keeping us. Well, I'm grateful, you keep us updated and stuff, but I couldn't sit there every day, every other hour listening to one or the other, because it can really, you know what I'm saying? So you kind of have to like chill a little bit. And so it is, like you said, with social media, you have to step back a little bit. And I agree with you, because you are right. The minute you wake up in the morning, if your device, whatever is your iPhone, your iPad sitting next to you, you immediately, ooh, what did I miss last night while I was asleep?
You feel like you're missing something. You feel like you're missing something.
Yeah.
So when you take the time off of social media, you actually don't miss anything. And when we talk about, like I said, the subconscious, how it works off of what you hear and what you see. So if you see all of this fear tactic stuff, you're just going to put you in a state of fear. And I'm going to give you an example. Same thing with music, right? Music is very powerful for the subconscious. That's why a lot of times they say, when the music changes, the times will change. Okay? When the music changes, the times will change. Because now think about it. Back in the day, you had music that was full of love. You got Marvin Gaye, you got this, that, it was full of love, right? So when you want to listen, so when you want to take your girl out, you know, on a nice day, you give her some roses, you're gonna put on some Marvin Gaye, you're gonna put on that Luther, right? You might slide on some Anita, okay? but so now if you are, let's say if I'm a boxer, I gotta go fight, right? I'm about to put on some Tupac, so what I'm telling you is what we hear is so powerful, right? It's a certain energy that's behind that affects your subconscious and puts you in that spirit, right? What they call alcohol spirits, because when you drink, you're a whole different person. You know what I'm saying? So the subconscious is very powerful. So, like I said, sometimes you gotta back away from that stuff.
That's true. Hey, look, J Alan, I think somebody's calling in. We got a caller.
Okay.
They called in. I think they may have. Let me see. Mind, Body, and Soul.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hey.
How are you all this evening? This is Dee. I've been watching, and I've kind of been paying attention and listening and gleaning live and in living color, because, you know, I have been following the blacksbelike page for,
Thank you.
quite a while.
Thank you. Wow. Thank you.
So to glean live and in living color is a wonderful thing. But I'm calling in because one of the things that I noticed in the promo and everything was that Annette had mentioned you having CHF, being diagnosed. And I was too diagnosed with CHF, but I got my diagnosis when I was in the middle of a crisis. And once everything kind of worked its way back and they pulled the onions back to get to the source of my situation, it was my thyroid that was actually the culprit that kind of got the ball rolling. So my question is, I know everybody's different, but were you experiencing any major symptoms? Because, see, I was kind of brushing off my shortness of breath and all the different things that was going on with me, working all the time and maybe not getting the rest I needed and stuff like that. So were you experiencing different symptoms prior to your official diagnosis, or did your diagnosis come as a result of, unfortunately, like me, being caught up in a crisis and then everything kind of coming to a head? And I'm going to get off the line and just listen to the response.
Okay. No. So, well, thank you for the question. I appreciate the question. It was a great question. Yeah. So I definitely did have some symptoms. So that was one, like me and Annette, we talked the other day. That's what I was telling her. So that was the major reason I knew something was going on with me. So I was working at the time, and I would literally walk like 10 steps. I mean, just walk 10 steps. And I was totally out of breath, like breathing. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, and then I went on like that for about 2 weeks trying to ignore it. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know what's going on, just trying to, give myself an out. So definitely it was that. And then there was retention. I remember the night before I checked myself into the hospital, I had a lot of retention. So that means I had a lot of water on my organs. So I blew up, had water everywhere. So those are my symptoms. And then, besides that, I had a lot of heavy chest pains. So yes, I definitely did have some symptoms. Let me ask you, is she still on?
No, she hung up, but I'm sure she can probably respond in the comment section.
Okay, no, I was going to ask her what her ejection fraction rate was as far as her heart, if she knew what that was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ask the question again.
Yeah, so I was trying to ask you, what was your ejection fraction rate as far as your heart? What was that? And also, tell her to send me a message, after this, because I definitely would like to. There's some things I like her to start putting into her diet and start taking that can strengthen her heart.
Okay. All right. So D, it may take her a minute to respond in the Facebook Live, but that was a great point that she brought up, because I know that she's dealt with, being diagnosed, and I know that she's taken on onus, with her health and everything now. So she's really conscious, about what she consumes and everything like that, and how she proceeds. But hopefully, what she can answer that question, and you can help her further with that. Yeah, it's interesting. She said it, and you said it. Sometimes we just ignore, symptoms, if you will.
A lot of it is fear. A lot of it is fear.
Yeah.
Because I me personally, I've been spent so much time in the doctor as a child. I equate the doctor to it's gonna hurt. Okay. Bottom line, it's gonna hurt. Okay. Right. That's it. Okay. I don't want the hurt. Yeah. And we got to get over that. After I got out of the hospital, I was seeing 3 doctors, and I was getting stuck so much, it didn't even bother me after a while. You know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying. Don't ever let yourself get into the position where you're forced to take care of your health, because it's not fun, right? It's not fun. Taking off work, you got to go to this doctor appointment. Oh, you just got stuck here. Oh, you got to go over here. You got to give some blood over here. Oh, it's like, it's not fun. It's not.
I can imagine. All right, let me read some more comments here on Facebook. Work with God for your healing. Auntie Deborah says, yes, people, please stop claiming generational problems.
Yes.
Let's see. Lady Beverly also says 1 ingredient food straight from God's grocery store. I love it.
There you go.
Buddy says, I keep saying life is about choice.
I'm sorry. That was, what she say? Say that one more time. That was jazzy. I'm gonna have to use that one.
One ingredient foods. And then she says straight from God's grocery store.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah. Buddy's comment, he says, I keep saying life is about choices. We will literally live and die by the choices that we make. This includes our health. And he also says, we do have to control our exposure. It can make or break you in your mental and health state. Stress is real. Let's kind of go there, because we'd already started talking about the psychological, how to deal psychologically with what we're dealing with now. So let's talk about what he said at the end. Stress is real. How would you encourage us in this time that we're dealing with, to deal with stress? Because it is real. It's not anything that's...
No, it's definitely real. And stress is probably the #1 killer, right? So your cells in your body respond to how you feel. So if you're stressed out all day, then your cells in your body over here going haywire somewhere. But again, this comes down to the simple things like natural foods, fruits, vegetables. For the men out there, because I know women do it. So for the men out there, sometimes, brother, you got to go and pay and get you a massage. Like, I'm just being serious. You know what I mean? Like, some people don't, some brothers don't feel like, I don't do it as much, but I used to do it every month. I would go and get me a massage. This is when I was doing, a lot of blue collar work. And I felt like $1 million when I got out of there, Don't try to test me when I got out of there. I might have to. Okay, I was feeling real. Okay, don't play with me. After I get my massage, don't play with me. So, no, seriously. But sometimes we got to do those type of things to just to feel better about ourselves. You know what I mean? And when we talk about stress too, listen, take some time to yourself. Listen, when I get up in the morning, I told Annette I get up at like 4 in the morning. So when I get up in the morning, the first thing that I do is I take all of my, my supplements, my minerals, But first thing, I'm thankful to be here. I say all of my affirmations, take my supplements, my minerals. Then I sit and I do some breathing exercises. Okay, I do that for about maybe just a small 5 to 10 minutes. Just and untense your shoulders when you do that. Let your shoulders hang and untense, and just concentrate on. Just try to listen to your heartbeat, right? Just concentrate. Do it for 5 minutes and just see how relaxed you feel, right? And then after you do that, go ahead and speak some power over your day. So can I share something real quick?
Okay.
Okay. So this is one thing that I like to say pretty much every morning. It's my own affirmation that I wrote. Everybody can write their own, but mine goes like this. It says, with each gift that is bestowed upon me, allow me to hold on to gratitude. My mind is in control of my body. My feet are planted in the overabundant waters of prosperity. Shower me with selflessness. Balance me with an ultimate love for myself. Ensure my mind stays intact, holding on to all knowledge I've acquired, as well as the humility to admit when I do not know. My thirst for something new is satisfied. Never concerned with the opinions of others, I am a part of that spark that changes the world by staying consistently me. So that's what I say every morning. Get my day going. I feel good about myself. Drink me some water. Now, in the morning, I know your mouth be dry and you want that cold water. But guess what? That's really not good for you.
Nope.
That shuts your spine. So get that room temperature water. Get it in you. Drink as much as you can, okay?
Oh, you know what? You ain't said nothing but a word. I used to always, my father is deceased now. He's gone on.
Sorry.
But my dad would never have water. I mean, he didn't drink alcohol or anything, but whenever he would drink something, it was always room temperature. Always. And I'd be like, Dad, what? I mean, you don't want any ice, like if we come over for dinner or something like that, or you don't want any, no, room temperature, baby girl, room temperature, and I'm finding that I am my father's child after all. I'm doing that myself, you know what I mean? And, I'll take the lemon, I'll squeeze the juice from the lemon in my water, and I'm drinking it, or the limes or something like that, but it's room temperature. I can't tell you the last time I had something cold, especially now during this time, during the, because they're telling you to, build up your immune system. And I've been doing that. And my vitamin C, my vitamin D, I'm glad you showed all that earlier.
Yes.
And different things that, I've just been doing to build myself up, because I don't want to get sick. But I've only been drinking room temperature water.
Good.
And it tastes good,
Mm-hmm.
You can get your body acclimated, to things or whatever. People are like, I don't want it that or whatever, but that's all I drink all day is water.
Water.
That's all I drink,
That's good. Honestly, that's all you should be drinking.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see a comment here on the Facebook Live. Elder Kevin McGee, thanks for watching. We appreciate you. He says, if there is a breakdown psychologically, then there will be consequences physically.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. If you can't get it right up here, then it's definitely gonna show all here. And see, look, let me say this too. See, a lot of times too, the way that your environment looks is kind of like the way you feel inside. Like I'm gonna be real with you. Right now, like I'm Zoom ready right now. Boom, I'm ready.
Right.
In the back of me, I got a pile of laundry right there. Okay. So I'm looking. It's kind of all over the place right there. So I'm kind of feeling like that inside. I got a lot of things I got to take care of. Things I got. So a lot of times, how your environment looks is how you actually feel on the inside too. So that was a great point. Whoever made that point.
Yeah, Elder McGee. He and actually, before we end today, I'm gonna play a spoken word that he actually penned for today's topic.
Okay, great.
But let's see. Demetrius says, we teach our children what to enjoy concerning food. If we don't buy junk, they can't consume junk at home. And I think that's key too, because that's another way to help her surviving in this time as well. Because some people, and I'm telling you, J Alan, I've seen it on Facebook, my different friends, they're like, okay, does anybody know, or what are you doing to exercise, to keep yourself in shape, you know, while we're here in the house, you know, because you can't go out to the health clubs, you know, whatever. And I'm gonna throw this in here. I'm so proud of myself that I've been exercising, you know, but it's like, I ain't got nothing else to do. I do have other stuff to do, but I'm just saying. But anyway, but you can teach your children, you can teach yourself, you know, how to eat, how to live, how to, you know, and we have to be careful because our body is our responsibility as well. So I agree with her. I don't have to go out to the stores. You mentioned about you going out earlier, finding your vegetables and your fruit or whatever. You can go out, you know, and purchase that and bring that back home. Feed that to your children, you know, as opposed to the Cheetos and the Takis. And, you know,
Stay away from them Takis. I would have to fight my daughter on them Takis. But no, but one thing about children is, so if they're really small children, this is what I know, that's a fact. They're gonna eat whatever you feed them.
Yes. Right?
So, you know, there are children who, you know, never tasted a piece of candy in their life. And they might not like candy because they never tasted it. They never had it, you know, or some type of junk food, you know. So if they're small children, they're going to eat whatever so you're the example. Now, if it's older kids who are already used to eating junk and you're trying to make a change, the best way I found with them is you got to get them involved and make it fun. Like, hey, you know what? We're going to go to the store. You're going to make us a pizza tonight. We're going to all veg. Look, let's try to eat. Let's see if we can eat all veggies tonight. Let's just see. Like, I mean, you got to make it fun for them. You know what I mean? Let them get in there in the kitchen. Let them, you know, experiment a little bit. I mean, and that's the kind of like the way that you have to do it, you know, and then slowly educate them on, you know, why they shouldn't be eating X, Y, and Z. Right. Yeah. That's true. Because I'm telling you, you'll be the better off for it too. Oh, somebody said they're proud of me exercising too. Okay, let's see. Buddy Gill says room temperature water. He said, God help me. But wait, Buddy, check it out, Buddy. I know, listen, Buddy, I like that ice cold too. I like my ice cold in a big glass mason jar, brother. Okay, but that room temperature water, what it does is it gets especially in the morning, like an 8-ounce glass, 9-ounce glass, it gets the blood flowing. You know what I mean? When you get that ice cold water with your warm blood, that's a clash. That's not, right. You know. So you got to have that warm, you know, to get that blood circulating right and get your flow right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I like, you know, I'm honest. I like my drink cold. Yeah. I do. Right. But right. I have to kind of get used to drinking more so room temperature. Like I keep my bottled water I just keep it out. I don't put it in the refrigerator. Me either. Mine, you know, of course, you got a lot of water, and I just kind of keep them in one place. And now, when it's 102 degrees in Los Angeles, California, we putting that in the refrigerator. we just gonna have to do it. I'm sorry. Yeah, I guess it has been easier to do now since it hasn't been really hot or whatever. Right. But yeah, I've definitely gotten my body acclimated to it. Let's see. Whitney Wilson says, speaking healing and blessings over my very soul in the mighty name of Jesus. Let's see. Demetria, I believe she may have been answering your question from when she called in earlier. Okay. She drinks a turmeric, ginger root, lemon, and cinnamon blend daily. Occasionally, she'll add cayenne. And she can tell the difference in her body when she stops doing it, when she doesn't. Okay. Tell Demetria, and this is the one with the CHF? Correct. Okay. Tell her I want her to get some of this. It actually doesn't come in a bottle like this. I put it in this bottle. Mm-hmm. This is called Liquid CoQ10. CoQ10. So Liquid CoQ10. This right here, this Liquid CoQ10, and this hawthorn berry. These two are like a beast for getting that heart pumping, you know, So you would take the hawthorn berry, you would take a teaspoon of hawthorn berry in the morning, teaspoon at night. In the CoQ10, you want to take a tablespoon of this in the morning and a tablespoon at night, okay? You want to do that every day, okay? You can find that on the internet anywhere, okay?
Okay, cool. All right. I'm trying to see if I'm not missing anything else on here. So I started that watch party, so you get comments on both.
Oh, okay. You're working it.
I'm trying. Here, look, let me do this. I want to play this spoken word. You can stay right there. I want you to take a listen to this spoken word. If you can hear it very well, give me a thumbs up.
Okay.
Okay.
Pandemic blues brings disruption, health corruption, moving over the face of the globe, turning our way of living upside down, inside out, challenging us, daring us to be different. Invisible killer moving silently, attaching itself like a leech, injecting poison and withdrawing life, causing us to be sheltered in, which gives way to conspiracy theories, fake news, government cover-up, man-made viruses, racial genocide, thinning of the herd, judgment against the church, judgment against the world. The first of the four horsemen is riding high. Theories, supposition of what might and could be, not proven, just speculations. But in the meantime, veil your face, wash your hands, distance yourself from your brother, from your sister. The new normal in a new world order. Fear sweeping through the land, economy broken, rich and poor, black and white, waiting on stimulus welfare check. Frontline workers putting lives on the line, even dying. Essential workers who worry if essential also mean expendable. Government leaders in the Casablanca shelling out mandates they don't follow while trying to open a country under siege without expelling the enemy. As the household of the faithful permeates the atmosphere with a message that won't be sheltered in, reminding us that through it all, there is a God who is always in control, able to make us whole. We proclaim that this was the year of vision. However, we never saw this coming. Yet when it's all said and done and Miss Rona exits the stage, we will see that the vision is still intact.
Snap, snap, snap for the brother right there. Who was that?
That was Elder Kevin McGee, and actually he does have a show at the same radio station that I do, Intellectual Radio, titled Connections. He's awesome with the spoken word, and normally he pens a spoken word every week for my show in relation to the day's topic. So
that was pretty heavy right there. He touched on all different. I sound like, look, that should be in the front of like a movie or something. It sounded like, ooh, like it's coming, like, you know, he like, watch out for that Rona, like, you know, he captured that right there. I was feeling that. That's who's that? Elder who?
Elder Kevin McGee.
Elder Kevin McGee. Shout out right there, brother.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the same one that gave the comment about the breakdown psychologically, and then it'll become.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I think that was very. It tied in very well with what we were talking about on today, and of course what we're dealing with now. As we wrap up today, because I know I am at my hour with you, and I don't. I'll have to have you back. I gotta have you back.
I'm coming back.
Yes.
Even if you don't let me come back, I'm just gonna break in and just come back anyway. I don't know.
Oh, that is too funny. But do you want to wrap us up with anything on today before we exit?
Yeah, I mean, hey, I would like to say, listen, thanks for having me on your platform. Y'all got a beautiful host right here, okay? She doing her thing, okay? No, I really had a great time on the show. Anybody, if you guys want to get in touch with me, my name is J Alan Grier on Facebook. So that's the letter J. Alan is ALAN. and Grier is Grier. Like I said, you know, I run a health and wellness brand. I'm about helping the people, and yo, contact me. I do a whole lot of things. Let's network. Let's do some things.
Good stuff. And actually, you have a website too, right?
I do have a website. So my website is gangstaholistic.com. That's GangstaHolistic.com, gangstaholistic.com. And basically what I do is I just, you know, we teach about mind, body, and spirit. I have, you know, my material on there, as well as just a host of different things. I'll be doing some workshops. And also on blacksbelike, we're going to be opening up some different platforms. We're going to be interviewing some people. We got a lot of good stuff coming. I ain't going to stop. I'm not going to stop.
Don't stop.
Right.
This has been great. Again, I appreciate you for taking time out on today and coming and talking with myself and my listeners on here. Let's see. Okay, you know what, guys? I see your comments. We're gonna type his name in once I get a chance, so you guys can make sure you can go and follow him as well. Good guy. We've had great conversations on the phone.
No doubt.
He's down to earth. You would think that you and I had already met in person, but we've never met in person.
That's how the conversation went.
Yes, definitely. Latoya and Janetta and Lady Iris, I see you guys. A lot of you guys have come in since we have been talking, and this was only an hour show on today, but I do want to appreciate each and every one of you for coming in, those that have shared, liked and shared the post. If you didn't catch it, you may just have to go back and rewind so you can look at the entire show on today. But J Alan, I bid you Godspeed, and I pray that everything goes well with you. Now you actually have, they're telling me that I have to have you back as a guest. So yes, I already said that, guys. He'll be back.
Ready. Let's do this. What's going on tomorrow? What? Oh, you know, wait. One thing I forgot to mention the ebook. The ebook.
That's what I was just getting ready to ask you about.
Oh, okay. So you guys, next week I'm dropping this ebook, all right? And you know, I like to be funny with y'all, okay? Health is boring, so I'm gonna make it fun with y'all, okay? So the name of my ebook is called So You Got a Cold, all right? And so in that ebook, I have all different type of herbal little remedies and stuff like that for this type of stuff, the COVID-19, how to keep your immune system built up. So definitely look for that. Like I said, it'll be out next week, and it has some great information on it, okay?
Okay. And so what they can find how to get it on your website, or?
Yeah, it'll be up on my website. You guys can go ahead and purchase it there. And if you can't find it, if y'all ain't tech savvy and you don't know how to work the internet, just inbox me. That should be simple. I'll hold your hand and I'll take you there.
Well, we sure appreciate you for doing that.
I appreciate you guys.
All right. You guys make sure you go ahead, follow him. He's got like 50 million followers already. So make sure you...
Come on, I need that. I do need that.
Okay, speak that. But he does have a lot of followers. But anyway, so you guys make sure you check him out. He's been a great guest on today, and I almost hate to let him go, but I did promise, so I want to keep my word. But we'll have you back. We will make contact with each other, and we will see if we can get you back on and talk some more. Maybe, I don't know, after your ebook hits. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay. All right.
Good.
All right.
Thank you guys. All right.
Take care of yourself, okay?
I will.
Don't work too hard today.
I ain't never doing that. All right, man. Take it easy.
All right, you too. Take care. All right, to all my listeners, thank you all so much today for joining me and with your questions, your comments. I hope that there was something that was said on today that will help you along the way. We all know that, again, this is such an unprecedented time that we're in, but whatever we can do to encourage one another. If you are in the medical field and you want to give us some tips, we want to hear about it. if you are a psychologist or a psychiatrist or whatever, and you have tips, we want to hear about it, because, you know, we've seen the hashtag, we're all in this together. Yes, we are indeed. Again, this is not something that just hit one side of the world. It has hit the entire world. And this is something that we are definitely getting through. I'm not going to say trying to get through, but we're going to get through this thing, you know, with the help of the Lord. So again, if you have expertise in certain areas, you know, we want to know what your thoughts are, and how to manage to get through. Something J Alan said earlier, he said he kind of, you know, meditates, you know, or quiets himself. And we can do that. You know, sometimes we can have so much stuff all around us. It's so noisy. You may get the reports from the governor, from the mayor, whoever, number 45, you know, and it can seem overwhelming. Sometimes you just have to take time and just kind of breathe, just breathe, because you don't want it to overwhelm you so to the point that you can't function. And, you know, we have our children that are dependent upon us. We have parents that are dependent upon us. We have, you know, others that look up to us. And sometimes that could be a little, you know, a lot of pressure on us, but breathe, take some time out. You got to take maybe 15 minutes out of your day and just kind of relax yourself. You know, if you need to play some people have to play music, you know. Sometimes I like to play classical music. I was just playing it early today, you know, just kind of, you know, even tempered music, kind of, you know, relax you a little bit. Some of y'all may want to put on your church music. I don't know, you know, but whatever you can do to calm yourself so that you will be able to deal with what's going on. Because again, this is not something, I don't think anybody asked for this, you know, that we're in, but this is not something that is easy to deal with. And so you have to sometimes you have to reach back and grab a hold to things that you were taught, things that you were instructed on as you came along. Grab a hold to that so that you can get through this. You may need to pull somebody else through. I may need you to pull me through. I may need to pull you through. Let's be there for one another. Let's encourage one another. Let's help one another to make it through. We can make it through. We can make it through. We were just talking about survival tips on today with J Alan. Survival tips psychologically, mentally, physically, even if you are dealing with something, you know, physically in your body. Let's take our health back. Let's get back to the natural, fruits, vegetables. Raw fruits and vegetables. And you guys have heard even Dr. Hill, he talked about that on today, but Dr. Hill tells us this every month. She talks about what we need to do in our bodies. And so let's take heed to that, because it's definitely something we need to do now. Exercise, and I'm gonna throw that in there too, even while we are sheltered in place. Get exercise. You can exercise in your home. I have built myself this little, you know, exercise area, and I go forth. And sometimes that's also a way for me to de-stress as well. I feel great when I exercise. It makes me feel good. I have no idea why I'm continuing on with this, but nonetheless, again, let's do what we can to encourage one another. I see a lot of people on live feeds, you know, sometimes you're showing people how to make, you know, nutritious meals or salads or something like that. Let's do what we can to help one another, help ourselves, help our fellow man, because somebody needs it. Somebody needs it. You would be surprised how many people this is really affecting in a negative sense. Some people can't stand being cooped up inside. They literally have to get out. So being ordered to stay inside is not necessarily an easy thing for them to do. So let's check on one another. You know, we are physically distancing, but make sure we socially check on one another as well. I'm going to get out of here. Again, I appreciate J Alan for his time on today, for sharing with us what the things that he has dealt with, you know, in his own body, mentally, and otherwise. So thank you again, J Alan. I appreciate you, man. And it was a very good show. Thanks to each of you that have hopped on here to my Facebook live feed, those that have shared comments and questions, the phone call that came in. What's this question here? Can we go to the revolutionary side when he comes back? Oh, he would definitely want to go to the revolutionary side. But yeah, he's a good guy, great guy, and great content. All right, I'm gonna get out of here, guys, and you all take care of yourself. Here in the Midwest, here in Chicago, it's a gorgeous day out today. Maybe you could walk around your house. No, let me stop. But seriously, make sure you socially distance, physical distance. Make sure you have your mask on. Make sure you wash your hands 20 seconds. Sing happy birthday twice if you have to, or count 20. Make sure you're washing your hands real good and, taking care of yourself. We want to keep in mind those who have lost loved ones, even during this time, whether it was COVID related or not. We're just keeping them in mind and keeping them in our prayers, because again, this is a different thing to deal with. I'm also going to talk at some point, maybe on my YouTube channel. I want to chat about, even during this time that we're dealing with, so many have lost loved ones, but having a funeral now is not like we used to have it. There's only a certain amount of people that can be there. There are certain criteria, restrictions, guidelines that have to be followed, and people cannot accurately say goodbye to their loved one as we have done in the past. So that's another thing that can affect individuals psychologically. So I'm going to chat about that, also, to kind of help us, maneuver it and get through. Again, remember, we are all in this together. All right. You've been listening to your girl, Annette Harris of Mind, Body, and Soul with Annette. Thank you all so much for coming on today to Get Caught in the Net. And on next week, we'll have an awesome guest, Celeste Jackson, this awesome female African-American entrepreneur. And she is going to come in and talk about her life journey. This woman has, I don't know how many different businesses. Okay. I am so proud of her. I really am. But we're going to highlight her on next week, Celeste Jackson. Get the word out. We're going to put our promos out. Make sure you guys stay tuned. That will be 12 noon Central Standard Time next Wednesday, which will be May the 20th. And this year is just moving along so fast, isn't it? But we're grateful that we're yet here and we are able to function. And it's going to be a great show. It's going to be a great show. All right. Let's see here. Making sure I didn't miss anybody else. We're going to get out of here. Take care, guys.
Get caught in a net with Annette. For your mind, body, and soul. Get caught in a net with Annette. It's your intellectual radio show. Here to inspire you, encourage you. Be your very best. Get caught in a net
With Annette. Take care, guys. Thanks for coming to Get Caught in the Net. We'll see you soon.